Could we see Jade Cargill in WWE 2K24? The reports have come out that Jade Cargill is going to be done with AEW, and by all accounts, it sounds like she is bound for WWE in the near future. Jade Cargill wrestled her seemingly last match on AEW Rampage, going up against Chris Statlander for the TBS Championship and lost to put over Chris Statlander in what seems to be the final farewell match for her with AEW. Cargill was described as teary-eyed when she finished up the match, and she walked back up the ramp with the manager Mark Sterling. Looking at PW Insider, they had the following to say about this whole situation. In speaking with AEW sources this morning, the belief is that her current AEW deal expires as soon as this week, and while there were discussions with Cargill about staying, nothing new was agreed to. She's not currently slated for any other AEW appearances, we are told. If and when her deal expires, she would be free to sign elsewhere. PW Insider continued on by saying, there are some in AEW who believe Cargill is heading to WWE for the NXT brand. Cargill actually had a tryout there before coming to AEW, where she was presented immediately as a star attraction with a long-running winning streak with the TBS Championship. So this got me thinking about 2K24. If Jade Cargill signs with NXT in the next month, 2 months, we could see her added in time for not only WWE TV, but we would see her potentially in 2K24. If this were to happen, I can definitely see her brought in to NXT and then put in the game as part of a DLC pack or an NXT pack. Give us a new Outsiders pack. Cargill is massively popular. She was great as TBS champion. And I think if she were to go to WWE and specifically in NXT, I think this would be a great starting point for her. She would learn the WWE system, wrestling, and dealing with WWE's TV production and how they like to shoot everything, work on her promos, and work on her in-ring skills. Now, when it comes to the video game, I do see this as a very, very good shot. We would see her in 24. 2K is typically going to be doing their scans for the superstars now, all the way through to even the Royal Rumble. Jade Cargill would be a great addition to make a surprise appearance at the WWE Royal Rumble. Even if she's part of the NXT brand, she could make a debut at that point, or even sooner at an NXT Premium Live event. I think a lot of people with this news would look immediately at who could she feud with the likes of Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, Charlotte, Becky, on and on it goes. But having her in NXT, possibly even pretty soon, you could throw her right in there and get her up into contendership for the NXT Women's Championship. Have her beat Becky Lynch, Tiffany Stratton, or Roxanne Perez. Put her in substantial feuds to get her started, because I think with the giant audience of WWE, the global audience of WWE, they may not be familiar with her as much as the hardcore fans are. The AEW audience, people that watch both programs, know Jade for her work in AEW. So I think NXT is a perfect spot to start her off with to get her introduced to the audience. But I do think on the video game side, there's plenty of time that if she was to sign really soon, she'd be in development as of Survivor Series to the Rumble. You got months to be able to bring her in. Also, she's brought in as DLC. I can totally see her headlining a DLC pack. It'd be a huge win for 2K and for players to be able to see her character model brought in with whatever her debut attire would be. And you know what? Now that the merger between Endeavor and WWE has happened and we now have TKO, a lot of wrestlers' contracts are going to be coming up with WWE. The likes of Elias has been rumored to not be getting their contract extended or re-signing with WWE. We know that Lacey Evans has left WWE with contract expiring there too. We've seen Nia Jax return to WWE, which she could easily be added into 2K24 by using one of her year's previous models that were in the game, or even using what would have been her 2K22 model had it been ready to go last year. I think Jade Cargill added in as a DLC pack and a headliner would be a massive win for 2K. Players would definitely want to get the season pass to be able to have her added in. We also know that 2K, based on 2K23, we know that they love using a ton of NXT superstars to round out those DLC packs. This year, they threw in a couple of legends here and there, but it was mostly NXT stars, and I think next year is going to be very similar, and that's where I think Jade would be great as that headliner for a future pack. The other thing is that if Jade does sign with WWE and goes to NXT, or she goes to main roster, they would have a lot of time to not only scan her, but get her moveset, get everything right, especially if they put her in as a late DLC pack, like number 4 or 5. because they could put her rendered image on the packs to be able to say that she is coming as part of DLC pack number 5. That gives them a lot of time to work on the model. They can work on that all the way up until June or July and releasing it in August, September for 2K24. Likewise, Nia Jax, I think, would easily come in as part of the base game, but with WWE and 2K, they might put her in as DLC as well. And with reports that other AEW stars, their contracts are coming up in 2024, WWE stars are exiting, some might not get re-signed. We could see more AEW wrestlers maybe make their way over in the next year to WWE. The likes of Ricky Starks, for example, could be coming over to WWE. Wouldn't be in time for 2K24, but by 2K25, we could have an even larger roster of maybe some wrestlers that have gone from AEW over to WWE. If we didn't get her in 2K24, I think that would be a massive miss, all depending on if she signs with WWE and when that would happen. If it happened pretty immediate, and I'm talking like the next month or two, there's still a large window where we could get her in the next video game. Will she sign with WWE? Will she end up in NXT if she does go? Will she be in 2K24 if all of this comes to be? Comment below, let me know your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel, hit that like button. I will see you guys on the next episode. Bye.